Okay, we're recording. Welcome to our final social media workshop. We're going to be talking about connecting with our audience today. And we're going to talk a little bit about the algorithm, which is kind of an anomaly for a lot of us, the algorithm. Okay. So let's think about our audience. And a lot of this is going to overlap with what we talked about last week. So if you did not watch the video from last week yet, then these really go together so well. And a lot of the stuff we talked about last week is going to apply to this as well. So when you think about your audience, you need to think, who are you trying to reach? Who do you want to see your content? And I know we might say, well, these products work for everyone. I want everyone to be on my team. I would love that too. But there's just some things that are specific to my area of expertise. And that is where I'm strongest. And so, yes, we could enroll everyone. Everyone can use oils of every age, men, women of all different backgrounds, but there are specific people that we are going to connect with more effectively. So that's who we're trying to reach. Who do you relate to? Who might you have shared experiences with? We talked about our ideal customer list last time. So if you haven't done that, create an ideal customer list with about 10 or so qualities that your ideal customer would have. So what age are they in? What demographic? Do they have kids? Do they have pets? What are some, personality kinds of things for an ideal customer? Because that's going to help you really get focused. And then stay in your lane. So stay in your area of expertise. I have learned this so much in the last few years. You are strongest when you speak to the things that you are knowledgeable about. And if you try to branch out into things that you're not as knowledgeable about, it's apparent to your audience that maybe you aren't as confident in those other areas. So stay in your lane, stay in your area of expertise. If you're not sure what your area of expertise is, just think about what you love to do. What do you enjoy? What things are you passionate about? And incorporate your oils and your education into that. So for example, I am not a yoga instructor. I've done yoga a handful of times in my life. I think it's a good way to move your body, but that is not my field of expertise. I could not teach a yoga class. But there are people that can understand how to incorporate essential oils and could reach people who are passionate about yoga way better than I can. So while I do have people on my team who are amazing at that area, I'm not going to try to pretend that I'm amazing at the area. I'm going to let them shine. So stay in your lane. And by doing that, you are going to attract a lot of various different kinds of people as well. And then highlight their area of expertise when they are part of your community. So just stay in your lane, focus in on where you're most knowledgeable about, and use that to inform who you're connecting with as we go through these next couple of slides. So let's build your audience. So how to find accounts in your niche, and your niche is your target market, your ideal client. Go to the Explore page, type in a few keywords, and engage with accounts in the search results. So maybe you type in healthy mom. Like, these are some things I would type in: healthy mom, crunchy mom, natural living, natural lifestyle, toxin free, essential oils. And then what's going to happen is it's going to pull up a bunch of accounts. What you can do is you can actually go in, comment, add value to those accounts that you resonate with. Spend time doing this, because this is how you're going to build relationships with people who could potentially come to your account and see the value that you're providing. So our focus is not just spamming them. We're not going to their page and saying, hey, I have lavender, that will work great for this. You are focusing on building relationships just like you would do in any other area of your life. You're building relationships with these people because they may or may not become part of your community, but you are working on making those connections. And if you think about your account, your Instagram account, like a store, if you just stayed inside your store with the doors closed all the time, and there's all these people walking by, there's not a high likelihood that they're going to see you and connect with you if you're just staying inside your door with your doors, staying inside your store with the doors closed. You're more likely to connect with people if you go outside and stand on the sidewalk and start talking to the people that are going by. Now, not all of them are going to come into your store and see what you're doing, but you're going to start creating relationships, and you'll have more people interested in you when you are showing interest in them. The goal is to focus on building those relationships, connect daily with targeted accounts, and provide encouragement and support. So this is something that you can do daily, because when you're out there, this is free advertising basically. When you're out there connecting with people, leaving valuable comments, not like, I don't know if you've seen some of my comments on other things, but I'm like, this is so great. Like, that's not a super valuable comment. We can do better, right? Like, why is it so great? What about their post do you really connect with? What do you appreciate about the content that they're providing? And encourage them. So connect daily with these targeted accounts, provide encouragement and support. Tell them they're doing a great job. Tell them something specific about what they're doing that you enjoyed or appreciated, because those specific encouragements are going to have more value. Engage with stories. So this is a really great way to quickly engage with people who are who put things in their stories, and they're public. Stories are always public if their account is public. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll go through the followers of different accounts. So public accounts like Dr. Josh Axe or Dr. Oz or things like that, health-focused accounts, and I'll scroll through their followers, and I will look for the little ring around the profile picture that shows that there's something in that person's stories. And I'll watch the stories, because that might be the only chance you get to connect with that person in your lifetime. So leave something, engage, leave some kind of reaction, leave a comment. And if you message someone and reply to their stories, that goes to their DMs. So it's a really good way to get into someone's messages without being spammy if you're replying and encouraging and supporting something that they're sharing. So engage with new and current followers on their accounts. So if you have people that are following you, if people have joined your or started following your account in the last week, go engage with them. Go say hi. Say, I'm so glad we connected. I love this picture of your dog. It's so cute. Find ways that you can engage with your new customers or your new followers, engage with your previous followers, because that is establishing a relationship. And Instagram is making note of all of this, by the way. They're watching your account engage with other accounts, and that is really important. So your question might be, well, how do I engage with these people? I don't know them. They're strangers. Well, organic conversations. So start talking to them about something they're interested in. This might take a little more work than just dropping a like or a heart, but the comments weigh more than likes. So we'll talk about in just a minute about the algorithm, but in engagement, if there is a weight or a grade or scale for engagement, likes weigh the least. Comments are a little bit heavier. So if you can have organic conversations with the people that you are connecting with, then that is going to have more value to the platform, and it's going to help you connect with them more effectively. Share their content if you're in your story. So if you're out there and you see someone that shares a really great recipe for something, or maybe they have a really great tip or trick, not necessarily about essential oils, just about something that you relate to. Maybe you love a quote that somebody posted. Share that in your stories. Doesn't all have to be you, or it doesn't always have to be you in your stories. And if you share their content in your stories, tag them. Use the @ and their account name so that they know that you shared their content into your stories, because people like that. People are like, oh, they shared my stuff. They must really like me. So share their content in your stories if their stuff is public, and maybe add a few words like, I really appreciated this, or I really like this, but tag them and let them know. If you don't tag them, they don't know that you share their stuff unless they go and look for it. But if you tag them, then that shows up in their messages as well. Relate to their experiences. This is why it's so important to be clear about your niche Because if I'm out there talking to a triathlon runner and I don't have any of those experiences, then it's going to sound forced. But if I'm talking to a mom with small kids, then it's going to be a lot more natural because I relate to that. So find people that you can relate to and have that conversation. Find common interests and make connections. So we can't just sit in our Instagram bubble and hope that people are going to come through our door and be excited about our stuff. They're not going to even know we're there. We have to go out. We have to go out and say, hey guys, come check out what I have to offer. But also, I really like what you're doing. I'm going to support you as well. So it's important to take time regularly to do these actions, because that's gonna making sure we get to the next slide. It's going to increase your goodness score, which we'll talk about goodness score in just a minute. But just know that the more you're engaging with other accounts, the more your account is going to be seen by people. Here's some things to remember about your audience. Quality over quantity. It is better to have lower numbers and high engagement from the people that are following you than a huge following with very small engagement. When I see accounts that have huge followings, like 200,000 followers or something, and they have 4 comments, that is not quality. I know there's something going on with that account that isn't legit, and it's a red flag for me. So making sure that you are actually having engaging conversations with people that are commenting is important. Now, some of you might say, well, I don't have anyone commenting on my stuff. I don't have anybody leaving messages or interacting with my things. That's okay. Sometimes you need to add a more clear call to action. Comment on this post. Tell me which of these you'd want to try. Tell me if you would prefer this or that. Tell me if you have tried this oil for this specific reason. Maybe ask them to leave a comment. The more you engage with other accounts and leave comments, the more you will find that they're going to leave comments on yours as well. And so it's going to take time to build up, but you'll get there. And then add value. So in everything you're doing with all of this, you're always trying to add value with every single person that you touch. In social media, sometimes it's going to be a split-second interaction with someone. This is an opportunity for us to add value to someone's life. It's so cool that social media connects us to other people in these brief, small ways, but we can be impactful in little small ways. So look for ways to add value, encourage, support, ask questions, answer polls or questions in their stories. If people are leaving polls in their stories, interact with those polls, interact with those questions, because that's going to put you in their circle of influence. React to stories, send DMs if possible. So if someone's putting a story up, you have a choice of like a reaction, like a face with little hearts or smiley face or clapping. So there's different reactions you could leave. That goes to their direct messages. Or send a message, it says messages at the bottom. Send them a message saying, I really liked this blend, or, look like you had a fun day, some meaningful comment based on what their story is about. Ask questions, be interested in what they're doing and their content. Where did you get that dress? Or I love this this picture. Where are you? Like, what mountain is that? Ask questions and be interested in them. Don't cold message telling people about an opportunity or a product for them to purchase. Just don't do it. It's spammy. People don't like it. If you're going to show up in their DMs, be there to add value and to start a conversation with them and make a connection. We're going to talk about the algorithm here for just a second. So some tips and tricks for being seen and making the most of this, of the algorithm. It's Instagram's AI. It's their artificial intelligence, and it chooses how your posts get seen. And so this is some tips that will help your posts and your account get seen. Content. Utilize all of Instagram's features: Reels, Stories, Posts, IGTV. We already talked about content in a different video, so I'm not going to go into all of that. Engagement is essential. Have a clear call to action. If you want people to share your post, tell them, share this post with your friends. Tag your friends that might need this information. Share it in your stories and tag me so I can see you trying this blend. Leave a comment and tell me one of your favorite, Christmas blends or holiday blends, or tell me if you've ever tried cinnamon oil. Like, tell them what to do with the information that you're providing, so that it doesn't just end with them reading your post. Ask them to engage with you. Okay, saves, shares, likes, and comments. So in the algorithm, things are weighted differently. Saves are the heaviest. Saves are going to have the most effect on the algorithm thinking your account has value. So the more people that save your post, the better. So if you tell them, save this post to come back to it, then, if you want people to save your post, tell them, save this post or share it with your friends. Shares are the second way that the algorithm measures the value of your account. If people are sharing your content, then they think this account has value. This account is providing a lot of value. So tell people, save this post, share this post with your friends. Likes are not as valuable because they really have gotten away from even tracking likes. I don't know if some of you guys may have the Instagram update where it doesn't even show you how many likes the post has. And people were getting so caught up with likes that people were buying likes so that their posts look like they're performing better. And that doesn't work. That you can't, Instagram has made a way where it's not going to work out well for you if someone's buying likes. And then comments. Comments are also a great way for people to add value, for you to connect with your customers. And it shows Instagram that people are finding value in your posts. But comments and likes are weighted lighter. They're not as impactful as saves and shares, because saves and shares are something that cannot be manipulated. Comments can be manipulated. I know people that are in huge comment threads or on, I forget the name of the app. There's an app that people are on where they all go and engage with comments on people's posts. And so, people have tried to manipulate comments. People try to manipulate likes by buying likes, but you can't manipulate saves and shares. And the other thing you can't manipulate is views on Reels. The views on Reels is an accurate measure of the engagement of a specific account. So if you see an account, this was recently, I saw an account that had like 500,000 followers and they only had a few thousand views on their Reels, which showed me that probably most of those followers were not real. That person had purchased followers for their account, which is something you can do. Don't do it. It's a waste of your money and it will hurt your account in the long run. But the most accurate measure of the quality of someone's account is saves, shares, and Reels views, which those things cannot be manipulated. And that's what the algorithm looks for. It looks for authentic engagement. Private messages. When you are private messaging with someone, Instagram thinks that you guys are close friends. And so it will show your post to that person more frequently. So if you're going through your followers and you are engaging with their stories and sending messages to them, encouraging them, supporting them, Instagram goes, oh, they're good friends. I want to make sure they see each other's content. And you'll notice that person's stuff will pop up in your feed more often. So messaging people through their stories is a good way to build connection, and also a good way for your stuff to be seen by more of your followers. It's a really common complaint is, I don't think my followers are even seeing my content. So go to your followers, let them know that you're there, and engage with their stories, engage with their posts, and Instagram will think that you guys are besties and will show your stuff to each other. Okay, purposefully add something that will drive questions and comments. This is something that you don't have to do this, but I saw a tip where they said, put something out there. It will cause people to comment, either to correct you or to point something out or to ask a question that's unrelated to your post. So one thing that I've done is I have a diffuser that I love. And so I could use a doTERRA diffuser if I want this diffuser that I love. It's not a doTERRA diffuser, but it's really beautiful. And I include that in a lot of my posts, and just because it's very pretty, but I always get questions about it. And so at one point I thought, maybe I shouldn't put this diffuser in my posts, because I always have people asking about where I get this diffuser, and you can't buy it anywhere anymore. I got it a while back. And so I thought, well, maybe I won't put this in my posts anymore, because I'm tired of telling people all the time that they can't buy it. But then I remembered this tip, and I thought, if I leave that in my post, then I'm going to keep getting comments about this diffuser, and Instagram will think that my posts are more valuable because I'm getting these kinds of questions. So things like that, maybe you have a really cute like roller bottle holder, or maybe you have a really beautiful tapestry or something that you can include. I've even known people to misspell something. I can't do it. I used to be an elementary school teacher, but I know that people have purposely misspelled words to get people to comment that they misspelled a word. So that's just an example. Obviously, you don't do that if that makes you uncomfortable. But when you are adding something, anything to increase engagement like that is not necessarily a bad thing, but it just kind of depends on what you have available. Like if you have a beautiful diffuser or something really unique that people want to know, what is that? Where'd you get that? Or I love that quote, things like that you can include in your content. Okay, your goodness score. This is an abstract score. There is nothing out there that's going to tell you do this, 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 and you're going to have a really high goodness score. But it exists. This goodness score is something that will help or hurt your reach. If you have a higher goodness score, then your account is going to reach more people. If your goodness score is lower, then it's going to hurt your reach, and not as many people are going to see your posts. There are things that you can do to keep from like lowering your goodness score. Don't buy followers, don't buy likes, because that hurts your engagement. If you have bad engagement, it's going to hurt your goodness score. Instagram wants people and content to stay on the platform. So that's why doing things like polls and questions and engaging with other accounts and asking them to engage with your account, Instagram really likes that, because they want people to stay on their platform. Engage with accounts before and after posting. So I've seen a couple of strategies as far as this goes. Some people say 30 minutes before you post, go out and engage with all of those niche accounts that I was talking about. So all those accounts you've identified and your followers, start engaging with them, start leaving those comments and going through their stories and interacting with them. Some people say 30 minutes, some people say 10 minutes is enough. So I think somewhere between those two time frames would probably be fine. And then they also say after you post, engage. That means, again, you're going out, you're leaving comments, you are liking, you're interacting, you're watching stories for 10 minutes after, 10 minutes before, 30 minutes, 10 to 30 minutes before, 10 minutes after. And then do not delete images that you want to hide. So I know at the beginning of these workshops, we talked about your aesthetic and your branding and your content. Maybe you're wanting to kind of overhaul how your account looks, which is totally fine, but don't delete your images, because that's going to lower your goodness score. What you're going to want to do is archive them. So when you click on the 3 little dots to go delete your picture, one of the options is to archive. Archive puts them in a separate place where only you can see them, but it doesn't actually take the content off of the app. And this is same is true if you get contacted by compliance for posts that are not approved by the FDA. Maybe they make some medical claims that you didn't mean to include. Just archive them. You don't have to delete them. Deleting as few things as possible off of Instagram is important, because that it will affect your score with them. Here's a posting strategy to try to help you with the algorithm. First, Instagram posts, your hard posts that are on your grid, have about a 48-hour window where they are shown most actively to people. After that 48-hour window, they get buried, because there's millions of things being posted. So you have about a 48-hour window to capture as much, reach as possible with a particular post. So we talked already about how often you should post. And I was saying you don't have to post every single day. Just know that if you wait and post like every 2 days or something, then your posts are going to the engagement with your post is really going to die down after the first 24 hours. But you do have a 48 hours, still getting pushed out there in 48 hours. But after the 48 hours, it's basically, it's hit the end of the road. So determine when your followers are most active. So again, this is why it's so important to identify your niche, because you want to post when your niche is going to see it. So are they going to get on Instagram before they go to work in the morning? Are they going to get on Instagram when they are in the afternoon? Maybe they are getting during, their kids are napping, so early afternoon. Maybe they are driving home, or in the evening, they're going to get on Instagram. So decide what the best time frame is for your followers and post then. Use more polls, questions, and Q&As in your story. So polls would be like, have you ever tried this? Like 2 options, yes or no. Questions would be like, you ask a question and they type in the little box, like they can give you some answers. Or you can say, what questions do you have for me? And they can ask you questions. But there's a lot of engagement type stickers that you can add to your stories. There's a little slider with a little heart or a face. You could say, how much do you love lavender oil? People could slide the little bar. Anytime you can add some kind of extra engagement to your stories, it's going to help more people see it. The word giveaway is a bad word on Instagram. If you cannot use this word, if possible, it will be helpful for you. I know at one time, giveaways used to be a great way to bring new people in to see your account, but Instagram hides posts that say giveaway on them. So try to find some alternate language, gift, giving, something. I think I said gift away one time, or I am blessing 2 people with this set or with this thing, but don't use that word, because it's going to flag your account and it will intentionally not be shown to people. Followers that you interact with regularly will be the first people that see your account or your posts. Will be the first people to see your posts. So make sure that you're interacting with your own followers, people that already follow your account, because it's going to help your engagement if they are engaging with your new content. Consistently receiving good engagement from followers will boost your reach and will up that goodness score. So if you are bringing your followers in, if you have that complaint where I feel like my followers aren't seeing my stuff, go interact with your followers, and then they're going to see your stuff when it gets posted, and they are more likely going to interact with your stuff, especially if you have a relationship with them and you've been interacting with them as well. Okay, so here's what your final assignments are. Go find accounts that are in your niche. You can make a list. Sometimes I like to just save a post from that account, and you can categorize your saves now. So maybe you have certain accounts that you are looking at their follower list. So maybe Josh Axe, Dr. Oz, Women's Health, things like that. Maybe you save a post from there, and then you go look through their followers and you engage with their followers. So just keep track of where you've gone, where you've been. Normally accounts like that are getting new followers all the time. So there's always fresh accounts to go engage with. But I would spend time, 10, 15 minutes at a time going and engaging with them. And I would say daily, optimally. I realize that's a lot of work to do every day, but it will help. Then spend time engaging with your current followers. They're following your account for a reason. They found value there. They appreciated your content. Go let them know that you saw them, you see them, you saw that they appreciate something that you posted. They're here for a reason. Go engage with them. Spend time engaging with users in your niche. So we talked about that already a little bit, but as you can see, engagement is the name of the game when it comes to the algorithm and when it comes to growing your audience. The more people know you exist, the more likely you'll have people that want to connect with you, whether for your content or whether to partner with you for their wellness. Incorporate engagement boosting features to stories. Try some of those features this week. Try a poll, try a little slider sticker. Try one of those things where you ask a question and people type in an answer. I think I told you guys on a previous workshop that sometimes when I was first getting started, people wouldn't respond to those little boxes. And so I would go in from my personal account, and I would ask myself questions and then I would share those. So sometimes that's what we need to do in order to let people know that it's okay to ask us questions, that we're knowledgeable about things. So that's your assignment for this week. And this will help, and it will help you kind of know who you're trying to reach and be more effective in the time that you spend on that platform instead of just scrolling. Be intentional, know where you're going to go, know who you're trying to connect with, and then go do it. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me on our workshops. I'm so glad that you guys have been able to attend. This recording will be posted on YouTube, and the link will be sent out with all of the rest of the links to previous workshops tomorrow. Okay. Do you guys have any last